Okay, this is Bill from WLSFA, and I'm here today with Jason Mayhew. As long as my voice holds out, I bumped into Jason online on one of the weight loss surgery Facebook groups, and was impressed by his progress in his journey and his embrace of the lifestyle, and specifically for me, a lot of the physical aspect of it. But we'll get into that. And Jason, welcome. You're from Woodbury, Minnesota. Is that correct?
Yeah, I moved to Woodbury recently. I'm from Orlando, Florida. I had my procedure down in the Florida area in
Oh,
Sarasota.
okay. All right. So you a transplant from about as far as you can go, and
I did it backwards. I went from hot to cold instead of from cold to hot. So
yeah. Well, so you had your procedure down there, and what was your procedure? And tell us your high weight,
yeah,
surgery weight.
so I started highest that I remember when I started the journey was 340. I'm sure I was higher at some point. And I had the gastric sleeve surgery. My surgeon was Dr. Chablis, and I called him a Nazi from the beginning. Great guy, though. He's very by the book and everything. Amazing surgeon, and I would recommend anyone that is down in that area to check him out. Anyway, he motivated me. He knows what works well for me is when someone tells me no, you can't, then I say yes,
Mm,
you can. That's just me as a person, and he knew that. I worked as a paramedic, and I had run into him multiple times in the hospital and had conversations with him. And so he kind of got a smile on his face, and he was like, "Well, you shouldn't lose this amount of weight before surgery." And I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going to." So I got super motivated to begin with. Started working out. That awkward big guy in the gym the first time. Had no idea what I was doing and anything. But started going to the gym. My surgery weight, I was 292, and had the sleeve surgery. And I am what 3 years and some odd months now post, and I'm bouncing between 190, 195, depending on if I'm bulking or whatnot.
right. Oh yeah. Yeah. And it's always amazing sometimes how we worry about those little 5 or 10 pound bounces when we've actually come down 100 and plus, pounds. But I guess that's the way it works in the head.
Right.
Um, you have certainly embraced the physical side of the journey. Tell us a little bit about the physical things that you do to up your exercise and burn calorie burn.
Yeah. So, I don't disbelieve the what you put in, you get out mentality when it comes to food. But I also feel the same way with the physical side. You get out what you put in. I work out 6 days a week, if not seven, religiously. Some days, rest days, are not, rest days, but I lift weights 4 to 5 days a week. I'm an avid runner now. I used to be that guy that would laugh at people that would pay to run marathons and be like, why would you ever do that? And I've become that guy. So last year alone, I ran 21 races.
Nice.
And my biggest was I did like 4 half marathons, and I'm training now for a full marathon. So,
Wonderful. Well, and before you had, when you, well, let me ask it differently. Were you always heavy?
yes, I was always the big kid in school, and I came from a big family. Um, lived with
So,
my grandmother that was you finish your plate every day, and she made a lot of
right.
food.
So running a half marathon or running at all wasn't part of your history before you lost the weight. And
No, not at all. And the first 5K I ever did, I cried when I finished. It
yeah,
was something I never thought that I would do. I was one of those guys that if I would walk for 5 minutes straight, I'd be out of breath.
right.
And I ran my first 5K. Time was horrible. That's fine. I did it. It was that whole endorphin thing that people talked about, and I had no idea until I started it. But yeah, just
Yeah,
progress.
I like that because a lot of times people might not have been heavy when they were a child and were active and then gained the weight, and then they pick up an exercise routine and people say, well, you were good at it before. But that's not true in your case. This was a lifestyle not only the nutritional side, but you had to adopt a new physical side, all
Yeah,
new.
for sure.
And then, and then the thing that I enjoyed the most of it is that you're having a good time doing it. It's not a penalty. It's not something, oh darn, I have to go do my exercise now. It's you've incorporated it into a life, um, and because you're of, I guess we didn't say this yet, but you do a travel and adventure kind of writing and photography.
Yeah. So two parts. So I guess number one, I am a big believer in. Um, I feel like anyone that goes through weight loss surgery goes from addiction to addiction, and that's horrible to say, I think, but it's true. Um, I was addicted to eating before. I revolved my life around food, and I didn't realize that until I sat down and had the surgery and realized that you have to deal with your emotions and you have to not celebrate everything with a big meal and cake.
Hmm.
You and so I did it the healthy way, and I transferred my addiction to working out and feeling good about going to the gym. And so, my family jokes at me. They're like, gym day tomorrow. I'm like, I go to the gym every single day. Kind of mentality. But it's not a oh my god, I have to go to the gym. It's you wake up and you're excited to go to the gym. You're excited to get out and start moving because I remember those times that I couldn't, and so I use that as motivation and fuel to push harder and to go longer because there's a difference between I can't and I don't want to,
Right,
and
right.
and I don't want either in my life right now. So anything you can do. The second part, yes, I do travel writing um, and photography. Off on the go is my travel side, and I just started a new bariatric motivation venture too. But we can talk about that later on too.
Sure, sure. The connection I was making between the exercise and the travel is that obviously travel as a whole. I mean, I'm a big travel guy. I've been around the world, and doing it at 400 pounds and doing it at 195 is a world of difference. And so you've just got to be able to take so much of that energy now into that travel job and actually enjoy the process so much more. I mean, the obvious one, what everybody does is the picture of the seatbelt extender on an airplane, but
Right.
there's so many dozens and fitting into cabs and, blah, 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 just thousands of things as you go around. I only see how that makes it so much easier for you and better for you.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not only do you feel better about yourself, but there's a whole different world out there that I didn't know of extreme stuff that I love to do now, like zip
There
lining,
you go. Yeah.
nature hiking. Yeah, I went to Vegas, and I always stay at Mirage. If you've ever been to Vegas, I stay up the north end of the strip, and I run from the north end of the strip all the way down to the Welcome to Vegas sign every time I go. And it's kind of my thing now that I take my post workout photo in the Welcome to Vegas. And then I started running back. And, it was one of those you run down and then you walk back, or then you run down and, you brisk walk back. And then it got to a point where I just run both ways now and take my little celebratory photo in between.
See, what I like is you're a participant as opposed to an observer. You're you own the process now as opposed to just having seeing it from afar. And that's
Right.
the thing you get out of life, the weight loss surgery lifestyle, if you're successful at it, which
Yeah, that's one thing too that I and learned to embrace was that before I took pictures behind the lens, and now I take pictures in front of the lens
there you
because
go.
I feel so much better about everything.
Hmm.
Not just the way that I look, but mentally. It's a rush to go from. I didn't realize how, I guess, down about myself I was. Of the, I can't do better. I shouldn't try. The whole self-esteem, self-love, how it just blossoms throughout the process.
Yeah, and I'm kind of dwelling on that because I think it's so important, and kind of leads into this, your bariatric motivation side, which is you said a couple of times about difference between being committed to something and just desiring it. Is um, the motivation side is what so many people are asking for, and sometimes they don't know what they're asking for. We don't know what we're asking for, but it's asking for help, and so you're getting involved in that too.
Yeah, so I started when I went through the process. I did it alone. I had family support, but they were long distance, and so I reached out to the Facebook groups to find that motivation. I was that statistic. I lost a relationship through the process. I lost friends through the process, and I was really down probably the first 6 months to a year. Uh, but the only thing that I had to fall back on was my driving mentality of I need to make this work. I need to make this work. And I feel like on the groups, there are a lot of people that are looking, that are searching for that motivation. And so I started bariatricmotivation.com, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff, teamed up with some nutritionists and also some personal trainers, and we're doing one-on-one coaching, and we're going to start support groups online as well for people. Doesn't matter where you are in the process. There's so many people that either start with the process and feel like they failed, they don't know where to begin, or they're 5-10 years out and they're regaining and they don't know where to go. And so I've started kind of low with a couple clients and doing one-on-one coaching, and they're having amazing results. It's amazing when you have someone in your corner that's
Hmm.
one, holding you accountable, and two, pushing you, not to work out or not to push themselves physically, but push themselves mentally to where you're worth it. And you should embrace this process because there's so many people that wish they were in our position. Um, and you have the tools now to do it. That first year is so critical to gain that mentality of how you're supposed to live your life, because we all know when you have that first year, you lose weight regardless. You could eat crap every single day and not work out and you still lose that weight.
Yeah, the
Right.
honeymoon phase.
And once that honeymoon phase is gone, you have to work.
People um, would ask me, or will ask me when they see this, why did you interview Jason? What brought you to him? And there was two reasons that came to mind. One is that it's hard to find a lot of male role models for people. It's not that there isn't men that go through weight loss surgery and do well at it, but if you look at the stats, it's almost 9-1 the women to men that are involved in the community, online communities, and that type of thing. Certainly at our conferences and all the other weight loss surgery conferences around the country, you see that too. So having a male person come in and show their journey and share it is very valuable. And second, it's going back to that thing with you being a travel writer and a photographer. That means you're good at communicating. And really, in this community, it's all about the communication. And people all, some people will respond to what you said about motivation well, and then others, they need a different form of motivation. So while we, myself and WLSFA and so on, aren't promoting any particular format. It's everybody needs to reach out and find the part of the community that's going to motivate them. What's the right motivation? The one that you live with every day. What's the right diet? The one that you can stick with and be happy and have a high quality of life and all those kind of things. So along that line, saying that Jason's a good writer, he's going to be doing a blog post for us, or has written one. And now that we have the new blog post up on on the website, I'll be getting that posted in the next couple of days. So Jason, two questions for you before we wrap up. Tips for newbies, pre-ops or recent ops as they go into the honeymoon phase and the post-op their post-op era. What would you top couple of thoughts that come to mind of advice?
Um, One, get a good support system. It is very important to have people in your corner that understand what you're going through and will help you achieve your goals. With that being said, your family did not sign up for your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Most people go into it with my husband, my wife, my family are going to start eating the way that I do. They're going to eat the foods that I do. But physically, they didn't sign up for that. Mentally, they didn't sign up for that. And so that first year is very important to understand that and to get the good habits. Whatever your, I don't overrule any surgeon by any means of what they say the first 8, 10, 12 weeks post surgery, but they're there for a reason. Nothing frustrates me more than people going on the Facebook page, hey, I had surgery last week, and when can I eat, when can I drink, when can I this and that.
Right.
The process is there for a reason, and if you're struggling to begin with, then you're going to have some issues, either physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever it is. So take that first year to really get the foundation that you need, because once that honeymoon phase is over, that's when the real work begins.
Excellent. Excellent. And then last question for you. You said you're 3.5 years out. One of the benefits, of course, of being involved here is you have access to people that are 10 years out and so on. To you, if you look forward, what's your biggest, I don't know if I'd say biggest fear or biggest unknown or biggest concern about knowing where your journey is going to lead?
Um, it's not failure. I know a lot of people worry about failure, worry about slacking or whatnot. For me, I think the biggest thing is how I'm going to make the process and the lifestyle work around my life later on. I'm very grounded now. I meal prep. I'm one of those people. I don't. I eat out a lot when it comes to my travel stuff, but I make the good choices or whatnot. But when I'm home, I'm very regimented, and I go to work out at the same time. I eat pretty much the same foods every day, whatnot. I'm kind of boring like that, but um, when life throws the curveballs, that's what scares me, of like, how am I going to adapt to whatever is thrown at me? Um, like I said, I'm a motivated person, and I don't like the word failure. It's setbacks. We all have them,
Mm-hmm.
and we can't be judged on how we fall, but how we pick ourselves up afterwards. So it's more of a what's next? Let's prepare. But you can't, because it's life. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? So it's just adapting that lifestyle to what life throws at you.
Excellent. Yeah, excellent. I think you're spot on about that, because 2 years ago, I had no idea that my life was going to take a real left turn when the tumor out of the neck and so on. But we're not given all those choices, are we? Sometimes, like you said, the only thing you can do is choose how you're going to react to it. And I think that's the thing that I want people to hear in what your message is on your Facebook page and your website and in your talks, because I see so many people spend so much time, even being very successful with weight loss surgery, and then spend so much time being petty about things. Like she said, I took the easy way out, and then arguing and fighting about that, as opposed to saying, I'm sorry, I don't have time for that. See that mountain over there? I'm going to go climb it, and if you guys want to argue about that while I'm up there, more power to you. But, I got stuff to do, because a year ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, it took 3.5, in your case, 10. I couldn't do that. I probably sat there and had those same little petty arguments, because I didn't have the ability to go climb the mountain. I do today. Why waste this tool, this gift? And that's what I see. And so what I want people to know about, when they want to see that kind of an example, go look at Jason, because that's what he's about too. He's not wasting any more time. It's
I live by the belief that if people are talking crap about you, you're doing something right.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
people talk a lot of nonsense because they wish they could be more like you or be you. And so when that gets people down, I use it as fuel to be like, I must be doing something right if they're talking about me behind my back. Or
Yeah,
even-
that old meme about nobody that's ever gone further than you, bothers putting you down. It's the people that are out there are generally saying, cut it out. Come on, man, it's fun. Get up here.
Right.
And that's what I see with you. And so anyway, for all the people who look for that kind of thing, motivation, check out Jason. I'm losing my voice at the end of the thing here, so maybe it's a good time to say goodbye. But I did want to mention before I did that we're trying to get Jason into the WLSFA conference as a speaker or presenter of some sort. The schedule is all being pulled together, and there's so many issues on scheduling the conference. But definitely want to use those writing skills on the blog and speaking skills and motivation skills in person. So we'll be working on some things. I know Jason keeps saying to me, Bill, what are we gonna do? What's up? Come on, let's get thinking about it.
I'll put a fuel underneath me and I'm just ready to go.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I love that. So there'll be more about that coming out soon anyway. But Jason, thank you so much for joining on the phone call today, and we'll get this all posted up, and people will go check out his website and his Facebook page and friend him and all that, and get in conversations and help each other out.
Yeah, for
Thank
sure.
you.
I'm always open for conversations or questions, comments, whatever you guys have, throw them at me.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, sir. And we'll see you online and be talking to you again.
All right, and
All
I'll
right.
see you guys at the conference.
All right. Very good.
All right.
Thanks.